Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer55551, and I am back with a review/thought video. And for this one, I want to take a look at season 1 of Hulu's show Paradise that I just finished watching and all. Excuse me. And if there's any part of this video you wish to skip to on it, though, I'll have links down in the description down below so you can watch this on YouTube or Patreon. And for parents out there, it's worth pointing out that Paradise is rated TVMA here in the US and all. When it comes to streaming in general, though, there are some ups and downs to it, to be exact. But one up I could say is that sometimes they also have shows that you really can't find anywhere else, though. Sometimes, like original shows, like sometimes Netflix is known for that. They could do a lot of organic or a lot of original shows. Sometimes they're a hit and sometimes they're a miss. Same thing with others, whether it's Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, or Peacock Network and all. And Hulu is definitely one of those streaming networks and all. And we've seen Hulu lately have done stuff like original animes to even original shows in general, to even reviving like shows like Futurama, and of course King of the Hill is another example of that. Paradise is sort of an interesting show, and it was something I kind of stumbled upon by accident, to be exact, though. And when I first saw it, I decided to take a look at it and see what it was, and it wasn't until the end of the first episode I thought, okay, this looks kind of interesting to a certain degree, and so I got a chance to watch all 8 episodes when I had the time and all. And after watching all 8 of the episodes, I will say I did come away pleased, but with the season 1 ending, I was a little mixed on it, though. But I am curious to see how a season 2 would play out, though. Supposedly there is going to be a season 2 and all, but I was very curious to see how that one was going to be done and all. So I'm going to break it down into what I like and what I didn't like, mix or not 100% sure about. In terms of what I like, though, I will say that the whole premiere of Hulu's Paradise is very interesting. It's kind of a mixture of both a sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, and a political thriller into one, though, as it does evolve around a Secret Service agent basically trying to solve the murder of the President of the United States in a town called Paradise, in which you later learn it's sort of like in a underground bunker. So in some degrees, you do kind of get a little bit of that Silo and Fallout vibe to a certain extent and everything. So I certainly like this idea, the combination that they aimed for this show, to be exact. The other thing I want to talk about is the casting. I thought the casting was good. I was a little surprised by James Marsden, if I'm saying the name correctly, who played the president, a.a. Cal Bradford, though. That one was kind of interesting to see him in that role, since I've seen him in other movies ranging from the X-Men movies to even the Sonic the Hedgehog movie where he played the sheriff of Green Hill, Wachowski and everything. So to see him in what would be more of a serious role to a certain extent was very interesting indeed, though. But in either case, I thought the casting was done pretty well. I thought the acting was done very good and everything. But yeah, him playing the president, that was kind of surprising to an extent, though. The next one I do want to talk about is one of my favorite episodes, and my favorite episode, and this one I thought was good, was episode 7, known as The Day. This is when basically they showed basically what's going on in the White House and new clips around the world of exactly what was going on, as you saw what led to the event, which would be the end of the world, which basically showed what apparently was a super volcano erupting in the South Pole and the impact that it has had and everything. So it was very interesting to see how that was all playing out indeed, and what led to what would be, supposedly the survival, or at least some people surviving in this underground bunker and everything like that. But still, episode 7 was definitely, in my view, one of my favorite episodes of season 1 of Paradise. And last but not least, I will say is the music done in season 1 was very good indeed, though. I did like some of the use of the piano, to be exact, though, but I did feel like the music helped sort of set the tone, though, and there were some interesting tracks here and there, but one that I think stood out the most was basically a remake of the Phil Collins classic song, Another Day in Paradise, one of my favorite songs from Phil Collins and everything. So it was very interesting to hear this different version of that classic song, indeed, especially near the end of season 1 where they played sort of a piano version of it as well. So, but I will say the music definitely was done well, and again, I do enjoy this version of Phil Collins' classic Another Day in Paradise. Even though I prefer the original version, I still enjoyed this version nevertheless. As far as what I didn't like, mixed or not 100% sure about, I will say I was very mixed on episode 8, The Man Who Kept the Secret, which is basically supposedly revealing a lot of things, and I felt like I was just a little confused to some degree because you didn't, at least as far as I'm aware of, I didn't see really any hints that led to basically would lead up to this moment or anything like that. You did have some ideas and all, but then there was sort of this odd twist as you saw who really killed the president of the United States in the show and everything, and it was not what I had at least expected. And also another thing had to do with one of the supposedly like hitman or something, or hitwoman, basically working for what you thought was the villain, in a way thought was the person that took out the president throughout season 1, and that the whole thing surrounded that she was willing to make a deal to at least help out in exchange for having the president of the United States Nintendo Wii. And I was like, huh? Like really? That's the whole thing? I mean, that was just bizarre and everything. So I just was very mixed on episode 8, The Man Who Kept the Secret and all. So it was just an odd episode, at least in my view, especially when we learned who, like I said, who actually killed the president, and it was just that was unexpected, at least in my view, though. Overall, I would say I did enjoy season 1 of Hulu's Paradise. I thought it was a very interesting idea and approach they take, though, and I am very curious to see how season 2 would play out and everything. At its best, though, I will say that I liked the combination of sci-fi, post-apocalyptic, political thriller, and, a little bit of hint of Silo and Fallout to a certain degree. Maybe more on the Silo side, not much on the Fallout, but still some hints of it. To be exact, though, the cast I thought was good, including the person who played the president of the United States. I was kind of surprised to see him there, especially since we've seen him in other movies, whether it's Cyclops as X-Men or the Sheriff of Green Hill in the Sonic the Hedgehog movies and everything like that. Like I said, episode 7 is my favorite one, and I thought the music was good for the show, though. But at its worst, though, I am mixed on the season 1 finale, episode 8, The Man Who Kept the Secret. But in either case, though, I was very pleased with the show, and I am very curious to see how season 2 is going to play out, especially how they're going to approach it, though. We saw that it looked like Paradise was sort of in a tough spot and everything like that. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. But I'm also very curious to see if the show will also explore what happened to the world after what happened on episode 7, known as The Day and everything like that. We did get a glimpse of what happened to the outside world in maybe a small scene in one of the episodes, though, but to see what happened to the rest of the world would be very interesting indeed if we see something like that in the second season of Paradise and all. But in either case, I did enjoy the show. I did like this was an original one, a new series created by Hulu. And like I said, I am very curious to see how season 2 is going to play out and everything. Okay, this concludes my review/thought on season 1 of Hulu's Paradise. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about season 1 of Hulu's Paradise? Did you get a chance to watch the show by any chance? Did you like it? Did you not like it, though? Were there any favorite? If you did, were there any episodes you thought stood out to you the most in any way? Are you looking forward to season 2? Looking forward to when season 2 comes out and all? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, Sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you do like this video, I hope you hit the like button. I would appreciate it. And I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me, Patreon, or Streamlabs. Links will be in the description of this video, so you watch this either on YouTube or Patreon. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!